Okay, we're now going to write 2x squared plus 6x minus 3 in the form y is equal to a x minus h all squared plus k, and then solve 2x squared plus 6x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now this is harder than the previous video because this is the number in front of x squared is no longer 1, it's 2. So how will we do this? Well, we've got y is equal to 2x squared plus 6x minus 3. There's one extra step here. So if you join these two up, and what you need to do is factorize out the 2 from both the 2x squared and the 6x. So factorizing out a 2, we're going to get that y is equal to 2 brackets. That will be left with x squared plus 3x. You can check 2x squared, 6x when you multiply back out. We've still got the minus 3 on the end. Right, now we look at this, and we look at this number here, and then we take half. So we take half of 3, which unfortunately is a fraction. But we'll leave it as a fraction. We'll write 2 brackets x, the same sign comes down, plus 3 over 2, all squared. And we still have the minus 3 on the end. Right, in doing this process here, we've actually added something into the function. We've got to work out what that is. Now, one way to do it is to expand it. And so you've got 2 brackets x plus 3 all squared. So that's going to be 2 brackets x squared plus 3x plus 9 over 4. And then if you take that 2 and you get 2x squared plus 6x plus 9 over 2. Now you might be able to work this out without actually doing this step here by squaring the 3 over 2 to get 9 over 4 and then multiplying by 2 to get the 9 over 2. So it's okay if you can do it that way. Now we've actually added in 9 over 4, so over here we need to subtract 9 over 2. Sorry, we added in 9 over 2, we need to subtract 9 over 2. So, subtracting 9 over 2. Right, so we need to do that sum in our head. 2 times 3 is 6. Minus 6 minus 9 gives me minus 15 over 2. So, we get y is equal to 2 brackets x plus 3 over 2 minus 15 over 2. Now, if you can't do that in your head, maybe you can use your calculator. Right, that's now in the correct format. It's now in that format because a is 2. H is actually minus 3 over 2. Notice the format is minus h, so that we've got plus here. So h is actually minus 3 over 2. When we look at the GeoGebra applet in a minute, we'll see that. And k is minus 15 over 2. So the vertex will be, in this case, minus 3 over 2. But the k will be the same, minus 5 over 2. So let's have a look at this on the GeoGebra applet. So I'm going to my GeoGebra applet and setting a this time to be 2. Notice that has the effect of stretching the graph by a half compared with the y-axis. Okay, b is 6. And c is minus 3. Okay, if we click here we get the completely square form, and we will see, and we'll click here we'll also get the vertex as well. Okay, we can see the vertex is minus 1.57 minus 7.5. Minus 1.5 is minus 3 over 2, and the k it will be minus 15 over 2, so that corresponds to what we just found here. Okay, minus 3 over 2, minus 5 over 2. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to also, there will be the line of symmetry there. Okay, the line of symmetry you can actually get in by taking the original format and doing minus b divided by 2a. So the line of symmetry is minus 1.5, so this is the line of symmetry. Okay, the roots will be equally spaced around that line of symmetry. So what we're going to do is try and find that root and that root using this format of the equation in the second part of the question. So going back to this, so we need to solve the equation now. So the original function was 2x squared plus 6x minus 3. find the roots, we need to put it equal to 0. So using the completed the square form. Now this is not quite so straightforward as the previous example, but the opposite of minus 15 over 2 is to add 15 over 2. So it gives me two brackets, x plus 3 over 2 squared is equal to 15 over 2. We now got a 2 in front, so we need to divide by 2. So dividing by 2, 15 over 2 divided by 2 gives 15 over 4. Again, if you're not sure, you could use your calculator. The opposite of squaring is to take the square root. So on this side we get x plus 3 over 2, on this side we get plus or minus the square root 15 over 4. And then we leave x plus 3 over 2. Now the square root of 15 we can't really take, but we can take the square root of 4, which is 2. And the final step here would be to subtract 3 over 2 from both sides. So x is equal to minus 3 over 2 plus or minus root 15 over 2. This is called the exact answer for that question. Alright? Notice that's the line of symmetry, and that's how far each one is away from the line of symmetry. Okay, so either x is equal to minus 3 minus 15 over 2, and if we're going to use our calculator we need to put in brackets, or if you've got those modern calculators you can use the fraction function and write it all in. That will give you minus 3.4364, etc. and round it off to two decimal places, so that 6 will make that 3 a 4, so it's minus 3.44. Or x is equal to minus 3 plus root 15 over 2. Again, putting in brackets. We're going to do that on our calculator. We get 0.43649. So that 6 will make that 3 or 4. So we get an answer of 0.44. So we get the roots at, or the solutions at minus 3.44 or 0.44. And going to our GeoGebra applet, if we click here to see the roots, okay, we see we get the same answers, minus 3.44 and 0.44. Those are the roots of this equation. Okay, so that was a slightly more complicated example where a is no longer equal to 1. Okay, I hope you've understood, and thank you very much for watching.